What's going on, everyone? Sky here. Welcome back to the channel. So we are back for episode 3 of Bachelor in Paradise. We did 2 for this week with a lot to wrap up from last night's episode on Monday night. A lot to wrap up here on Tuesday night first. Obviously, the crazy rose ceremony with Justin trying to give his rose to Susie and not Lexi, who he had been forming the connection with. Tried to give it to his ex, Susie, who then denied that rose, and then they both walked off the rose ceremony stage. Lexi left, and a lot left in the air. And then we also get the Golden Bachelor and Bachelorettes coming to the beaches of Paradise in this episode on Tuesday night as well. So we're going to jump right into it. But before we do, if you could, just hit that like and subscribe button down there. We'll have more Bachelor in Paradise content on the channel throughout the summer, all season long. We'll have recaps after every single episode, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. And I gotta say, first, before we get going, about the new Bachelor in Paradise intro, saw a lot of kind of mixed feelings on it. I don't mind it. It's something a little different. Still have the catchy song, as I said yesterday when we saw it on Monday night for the first time. And a lot of people had some interesting takes on the bits, whatever that they were doing. But I actually kind of like it. It's something new. It's something different. New vibe for Paradise, as I had been saying about a lot of this new style and format that they're going with. But we're going to jump back in. We head right back to the rose ceremony. Everyone is still speechless from everything that has gone on so far. Obviously mainly with, Justin trying to give his rose to Susie, her turning him down, crying. It's raining out. There's death stares going on. Lexi's storming off. Jesse is talking to Justin, and Justin says, before they crossed over from friends to more than that, talking about him and Susie, that they promised that they would look out for one another, and that's what he felt like he was doing at that time. Justin doesn't want to talk to Susie. Jesse offers to give the rose to one of the women that are out there that were possibly going to be going home on his behalf, and Justin's like, yeah, of course, would be happy to. Susie wants to talk to Justin, but, the producers and everyone's telling her that he doesn't really want to talk. He's just not in the mood to talk. Back at the rose ceremony, Jeremy is saying that he's maybe second guessing his decision. Susie does show back up to the rose ceremony. Jesse offers Jill the rose from Justin on his behalf. She almost doesn't take it, but then everyone's like, no, just take it. She's like, all right, I'll take the pity rose, I guess. So that means Susie, Zoe, Allie Joe, and Lexi, who had already left, are going home this week on Paradise. So Susie is heading out, and as she's walking out, she's like, how did all of this happen in 24 hours, barely? But we head forward to the next morning, and, get ready, because the Goldens are sailing in. Jeremy is still thinking about Susie, says if things doesn't work out, that he's definitely sending a DM. Hold on to that thought here for a couple minutes, but the Golden sailboat hits the beach with April, Leslie, Captain Kim, RJ, Keith, Natasha, Kathy, Jack, and CK hitting the beaches of Paradise. And they start introducing themselves to everyone. The Goldens start mingling, and safe to say they came to party this summer. Jesse comes to talk to the group and says, now I know it can be weird having different generations here, but we don't expect you to cross generations. But April chimes in, unless you want to. Hold on to that as well. Spencer says that April is Kat 40 years in the future, and they're actually says they're going to be roommates. So I think that would be kind of cool for the Goldens to be given, the younger generation of the Bachelor and Bachelorettes, kind of rooming with them, giving them advice. I think that'd be, fairly cool. Sleep schedules, though, I think might be an issue there. But we have another boy arrival, and it's our guy, Andrew, one of my favorite people from Bachelor Nation. Andrew from Katie Thurston's season hits the beaches of Paradise. Jesse gives him a date card as well. Alex says her heart fluttered when she saw Andrew, so something to watch there. But he says that 2 people caught his eyes off the jump, and that was Alex and Bailey. Pulls Bailey first. Bailey's willing to go on a date. Pulls Alex as well. She's open as well to go on a date, and it seems like they vibe, really well. Both had a good conversation, but I think him and Alex vibe pretty well in that conversation. But Andrew ends up asking Bailey to go on the date. He says that she just has that campfire warmth feel and wants to kind of explore that more. Bailey goes to ask Jeremy and see if he's okay with going on a date. I mean, why wouldn't he be? He just went on a date less than 24 hours ago. He's like, I went on a date yesterday, but, yesterday apparently Bailey came and told him, she's sure about that it's him, doesn't want to be with anyone else. And so he's like, was that all just to get a rose? Bailey goes to talk to some of the girls because she's upset that he's upset and upset that he's thinking that. But Jeremy actually goes to a producer and says like, "Nah, I want Susie back." And this is why I love some of the Paradise, the filming that we're getting, kind of the behind the scenes, because this was kind of like a different shot that we see him walking up to a producer and is like, "No, like, nah, I want Susie back." And the producer's like, "Let's go to an interview. Let's go to an interview." And he keeps asking, "Is she gone already? Is she gone already?" They say, "Yeah." He said, "Can you check?" He's like, "I want Susie back." So we've done a complete 180 just in the last couple minutes here at Paradise. Jess tells Jill and Kat that Spencer clocked Jeremy, saying that he regretted his decision or something of sorts. He still feels that she was just saying what she said last night to get a rose, and I really don't think that's true. It really seems like Bailey is really into Jeremy, but he just went on a date and explored, so why shouldn't she be able to go on a date and explore? Andrew and Bailey go on their date. It's a yoga resort of some sort. Coffee involved. Jeremy actually gets the producers back at the hotel, whatever resort, to call Susie. She says she's at the airport about to board a plane, and it seems like he's trying to shoot his shot, and she's basically like, she's not coming back. That you should try to work it out. So he's like, hey, you got to shoot your shot, shoot or shoot, but definitely got shut down a little bit there. And then back at the date, neither Andrew or Bailey drink coffee, and they get in a hot tub or a tub of some sort filled with coffee. They both have a fairly good time and seem like they have a solid connection and even share a kiss as well in the coffee bathwater. And Andrew says that he would definitely drink her bathwater. So we're moving on. The Goldens are playing Two Truths and a Lie. Jeremy tells Alex that he called Susie. Alex tells Jeremy that she doesn't think that she can get there romantically with Jonathan. So she pulls Jonathan. She tells him that she just can't get there. And he's like, it sucks to hear, but but he takes it as well as you can take it, I guess, essentially there. And we move forward to the next morning. Bailey is nervous because of the date that she went on last night with Andrew, but still wants to focus on Jeremy. And I guess he's debating actually telling her about calling Susie. And I mean, I guess I know the little graphic they put up on the screen was like, should he tell her? And the graphic was like, no, but it's like, she's going to find out anyway, so I mean, you might as well. We'll see if he does or not. They go talk. He feels that, he feels misled is kind of what he's conveying to her, but she tells him that she still just wants to be with him. Jack wants to get to know April, and they're hanging out in the pool, and well, all right, so they see Jeremy and Bailey making out in the pool, so they jump in on the fun and they start kissing in the pool as well. Wells is like, what if the first couple to go to the boom boom room is a golden couple instead of a, regular bachelorette couple? And honestly, I would not be surprised by that. Andrew talks to Alex and says how hard it was to, make a decision of who to go on the date. Obviously, he was choosing between Alex and Bailey. But she doesn't want to feel like a second choice, and he still wants to try to talk to her. She seems like, obviously she says she doesn't want to be a second choice, so seems kind of like off-putting at first. We'll see if they can, continue to, possibly explore a connection. But Jeremy sets up his own spot, since, Bailey got hers yesterday, and Bailey has Jonathan come in to start massaging Jeremy, and Bailey, goes under the thing and was like, oh, you having a good time or enjoying your spa day? And then he turns around, notices it's Jonathan, gets up, runs off. I thought that was a funny moment. Alex and Andrew continue to potentially explore a connection, and they share a kiss, their first kiss, should I say. And Alex says she does have a spark with him, so we'll see where that goes. But Jonathan wonders if the door is shut completely with Jill, and they have a combo, and conversation does not go fairly well at all, and I'm really confused by that combo, actually, completely. Jill just wanted to know if they were just friends, and I don't know, it was a very interesting, weird convo. I think they just weren't communicating the same way, or, I just don't think either was understanding each other. Sean from Charity's season and last season of Bachelor in Paradise shows up. Alex catches his eye. Jesse brings Sean a date card. Looks like to go ATV riding. Jesse teases an exercise tonight to get to know those that you're connecting with a little better. And the ladies do have the roses this week. Sean talks to Jill. She's semi-interested, and Sean, listen, he's talking a little bit of strategy here. Not saying that he doesn't like Jill or whatnot, but he is talking some strategy here. I mean, just plainly thinking about if he chooses Alex, as Alex is one of the people he said that he had his eye on. if he chooses her and that date doesn't go well, as she's already has this connection kind of forming with Andrew, then Sean could be out of a rose here. He says this, so that's why he talks to Jill, someone else who he's also interested in. But, he's like, if I go on this date, then I could possibly get Jill's rose, essentially, is what he is hinting at here. And we know how this works. But he talks to Jill. As we said, Jill seems semi-interested. He asks her to go on the date. She says yes. So they head off ATV, and it seems like they have a really good time and have a fairly good chat after as well. So back at the resort, the bat is in one of the Golden's rooms. Jack's trying to get the bat out, but I think it was actually a producer who got the door open to get the bat out. And then we head to the cast exercise. Sponsored by I Know What You Did Last Summer movie after a funny little skit from Jesse and Wells. And they have to write down their biggest secret, and the person who has the biggest secrets that's voted on by the group will have an opportunity to reveal themselves for a possible advantage of some sorts. Should I say who has the most shocking secret, I guess the better way to put it. And there's some definitely pretty wild secrets out there, but the most shocking one that wins is that this person hooked up with someone while their partner was in the other room. They can reveal themselves and accept an advantage. Kathy, last second, does reveal herself, and she gets the key to the VIP suite. Kim seems to like April from the Golden side of things, which is Jack's only chance at a rose, he believes, someone that he's interested in as well. Most of the Goldens head to bed at 9:30, besides a few of them. Kathy asks Keith to go up to the VIP suite. Jack offers him Viagra, and let me tell you, these Goldens are absolutely insane. They definitely came to the beach to Paradise to party. But up in the VIP suite, Kathy and Keith explore the hot tub, go through a couple bottles of champagne, it seems like, and have a good time. Jonathan apologizes to Jill, or at least tries to, and everyone kind of has their popcorn ready to listen because somewhat of an argument kind of forms here, and the conversation, argument I guess if you will, ends, and things aren't looking good for Jonathan in terms of getting a rose. The producers ask him, is April an option? As she had said a little bit ago, we said put a pin in this. April said, just in case you wondered, second door on the right, or some sorts of that. So the producers are like, is April a chance? So they go through the little, sequences that they've been doing, which I actually kind of like. Think it's funny. It adds a different layer to the show. And he says in Paradise, there's no age limit, so why not see what happens? Then we get the preview for next week, and looks like more rivals coming in. And it looks like possibly trouble in Paradise with Dale and Kat. And another wild rose ceremony seems like it is on the horizon. So anyway, that'll do it. We are now 3 episodes through Bachelor in Paradise. We're 2 weeks into this thing, and a handful of solid connections really forming. Spencer and Jess, I think, are still obviously the strongest connection here so far. And, some of the other ones, Dale and Kat, they've been, together for a while. But as we see next week, things could possibly be hitting some turbulence, I guess, if you will. Some of the Goldens starting to seem like form connections as well. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. We'll be back next week with the recap of another episode of Bachelor in Paradise. So just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. But that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.